Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Stigma. I am Dex, of course, you know, as they like to say here. This show's my baby, whatever, blah, and shit. But that's my co-host, partner in crime, and my older brother, and one of my mentors. That's Dre.
What up?
I mean, what happened? You know,
I couldn't tell
um,
you.
tonight's topic is a big one because it needs to be addressed, and it's not just for men. However, we are two men giving men a safe space. So tonight's topic is the healing process, how to start it, the ramifications of, starting it or not starting it, depending on what side of the boat you was on, because I've been on both sides. And it can be bad, you know what I mean? Whoo! Uh, and what up, Falcon fan? We see you. Appreciate you tuning in. Um, but yeah, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. Matt and some others may join in if they choose. Kim might actually join me to talk about what the healing has done for us, done for her, for us. It has actually helped both of us. But yeah, the as I said, the topic is how to begin the healing process. The first thing you have to do is you have to accept your past. You gotta when it comes to situations like that, you gotta understand that yes, mistakes have been made, people have been hurt, you have been hurt, and you have to learn to accept that. That's the first step to any problem is accepting there is a problem. And if you are hurt, if you have been hurt emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, any kind of way, you have to accept that there's a problem. Once you've accepted that there's a problem, you can move on to the next steps on how to attack the problem. Just because, and you also have to keep an open mind. Yeah, you've been hurt before. Cool. That don't mean go into every situation thinking that the next person is about to is got it out for you. I mean, if I did that, me and Kim would not have worked. I would not have two beautiful daughters. I'm just telling y'all the truth.
Hmm.
Real talk. Let's be completely honest about it. Dre, you've been hurt a few times. Would you be anywhere near where you are if you just went into each situation like, you know what, this next one gonna do me the same way the last one did.
Yeah, I had to really come to grips that it wasn't always me. It wasn't always me. It was always uh, other elements that I had no control of, but I always felt that was my fault in certain things. But the thing with me is that now, since I've been taking therapy, I've come to grips with a lot of stuff that I had. Um, it's been a struggle though. I still have my days where I don't feel, I don't feel I'm good enough, or I'm not doing the best that I can. But you really have to accept your past to make yourself better, and then to also, if you got children, because we're both fathers. Uh,
Right.
you have to pass that down to your kids. You got to pass that knowledge down to them. That it's okay to mess up, but it's also you have to learn from it, and you have to take experience from it too as well. So um, it took a while for me to step my past because I always felt guilty about certain things. Um, I didn't think that you know I always put my feelings aside for somebody else, or I made try to make people comfortable, so I didn't really say a whole lot. And in the end, that hurt me a lot because I was depressed and I was angry a lot. Um, I couldn't really, I couldn't really put it into words. But what to me is not only mentally but physical wise. I was I was getting upset stomach. I was getting even terrible headaches because I'd be so stressed out, worried about what other people would say about me. Now, I accepted. I forgave myself. I apologize to the people that are wronged. Uh, but at the same time, I can't feel guilty anymore. People can't be guilty anymore about your past because if you keep dwelling on it, thinking about it, you're gonna self destruct. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I was too. I was too. Kim will tell you, I still have days. I still have bouts. I had survivor's remorse.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. You know, coming home from combat, and somehow I made it home, and my brothers didn't. My sisters didn't.
Hmm.
It didn't sit right. It's just like, okay, why me, but not them? But on that note, I'm gonna pause that thought for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Matt is here. I told
He
y'all it was
made it.
gonna happen. Y'all didn't believe me.
I'm here.
What up, guy? About time you showed up, man.
Well,
Uh, uh,
I had to get my stuff in order before I show up.
well, the Canadian Moose has arrived, so take the
Here I
floor,
am.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Well,
is our connection.
I wasn't really up on what you guys were talking about before I just jumped in here. I just kind of barged on in. So where are you guys?
we were talking about the first step, accepting your past.
That's the hardest step, probably taking the first one, being able to get yourself to the point where you realize, okay, I gotta move past my hangups and start dealing with what is and becoming the better person I should be.
Right. Right.
Mhm. You
Yeah.
have to be.
And luckily for me and Dre, we have this circle that we have to where, oh, you fail, good, get your butt back up and keep pushing. Ain't that right, Matt?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I got to be on
Yes.
your guys' asses to be the best guys you can be.
You're an
And
ass.
just like you're on my ass, too.
You're an ass, Matt. You're an
Well,
ass.
I'm a smart ass.
But you need people like that though. You
Yeah,
really do.
yeah.
You need people like
Where's the broken stomach one? Where is he?
yeah.
No, where is he?
Last time I checked, he was still eating his chicken, so that's the last time I checked. So
Oh, well, if he eating chicken curry and rice, we ain't gonna see him for a minute. So, but yeah,
yeah.
that for to go back to what we were talking about, the first step to any problem is accepting there is a problem. If you can't accept that there's a problem, you're not gonna fix it.
Yeah, you got to recognize
And
there is an issue.
as Amy said, hey Amy, we appreciate you tuning in. That's Ladonna's that's Ladonna's sister for everybody who wants to know. You have to have accountability for your own actions in any situation. Period. Especially for us with kids. If we can't show the kids that we know how to be accountable and responsible for our actions as adults, what example are we giving them?
Hmm.
Nothing but a bad one.
A really
Yeah.
bad one.
When you have a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old at your house like I do, and they both teenage girls, yeah, I don't need them having the example of, oh yeah, the dudes I need to talk to need to be just like dad who don't do shit. Oh, he messed up, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta figure it out, especially being a parent like myself. You know,
Right, right.
you have to accept your past to start the healing process, and you also gotta, accept your past as well for your kids. You gotta make sure that they're um, kind of you know in the loop about certain things about your past, and tell them the good. And then honestly, you gotta be open to as well. You gotta tell them the good stuff and the bad stuff, so they
Good.
won't. What we spoke about a couple weeks ago, like if you don't open up yourself or you don't be honest with your kids, society's gonna teach them. It's gonna be good or bad.
That's true, and
So
I would rather us teach them ourselves than have society teach them the way that society wants to teach them.
That's something I respect about both of you is how honest you are with your kids and how you're able to open up and share what's going on with them.
Well, as I tell Kim all the time, I just try to do the things that was not afforded from my father. And so,
Yeah.
as much as
I
I
think
don't want to be like my dad, he's my driving force on what to do for the kids. Is okay. I didn't really have all the support I thought I should have, so let me give them all the support to them that I would have liked at their age.
hmm And I
Okay,
think
well, we got this, and this going on. Let me let them know so they're not blindsided by a truck of, oh yeah, we're moving next week. I've known for months, but we're moving next week. Tell all your friends goodbye.
yeah.
Yeah, that was literally a conversation in my house, by the way.
So, but this is we're both fathers to teenagers, so I mean, it's gonna be a whole,
Well,
gonna be
Matt,
a
you're
whole,
an uncle, so you count.
yeah, gonna be a whole lot of what I'm saying.
Uh-oh. The chicken curry
Oh,
surge
chicken
here.
got here, so it's gonna be
Here's
Mr.
more.
Chicken
chicken.
Curry is appearing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chicken
I
curry's
think he's
here.
here. Yeah,
Yeah, there's chicken curry when he turns his camera on and gets my
so,
ugly face
but
and Triple H off his screen. But yeah,
but as far as the having teenagers as well with the healing process, you have to heal because if you don't, you got to be prepared for the questions. You got to be prepared for the I wouldn't say talking back, but more kind of like questioning things. Not
mm-hmm.
not more so as disrespect, but more like because I was a teenager once, and a lot of things I did question, like why is this happening for a reason. But healing yourself will really kind of help out as far as with your children.
Right.
Um, because if you don't be honest with them, somebody's gonna be honest with them, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So with the experiences that all of us share, like I pick things from each one of you guys. Each one of you guys have a story or experience that I don't know about, but I listen because maybe little pancake will come and ask me a question that we talked about, a certain subject that we talked about, and I could just remember some of the stuff that you guys said, and then I could also talk about my life experiences that I went through. So I said like I'm like you, Dex. Like I say it all the time. Me and my dad, we're working on our relationship. We didn't really have the best relationship, but at the same time, there are certain things that he did that I took from, and there's certain things that he did that I didn't take from. So it's
Yeah.
all a learning process on this journey called life. So all you gotta do is just, like I said, you keep healing and pushing forward. You're really gonna not only help yourself, but you're gonna help the people around you too.
That's true. Mike, you all right? You look like you look like you was in the ring with Tyson Fury last night. You all right, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. That curry chicken didn't agree with me though.
I
I'm
mean,
talking about Dre and his ham and his burger.
that
That
big day,
damn
man.
curry chicken didn't
So
does
so
not
so
agree with me.
Dre had a delicious bacon cheeseburger,
I'm paying for
and
it.
I'm gonna let everyone know Dre is trying to cut back on certain products and things.
Yeah, I haven't had.
I am not trying to. That's
Well,
Dre.
I
He
had.
can
I
be
had. I haven't had any pork. I haven't had any pork. And I haven't had any like in forever. So I
and
think the
and
fact
and
that
that's what
I think
happened. You because you ate some.
yeah, it was a bacon cheeseburger and it was good, but I was paying for it today. So I
You
took
shouldn't have
two
put the hot. You should not have
we
put
got
the
Dre
hot sauce
looking
on
to
the
the side. He's
burrito.
like, ooh Lord.
between the Wilder fight and this bacon cheeseburger, man. I just had a bad weekend, man.
You shouldn't have put the hot sauce on the burrito,
You shouldn't have
baby.
bet against the king.
I
Nah, he
put the
would have
I got the
been
A1 steak sauce in the Heinz 57. I just mixed it. Yeah, it was pretty good.
So we gonna sit here and we're gonna let you think about what you've done.
I got 2 hours to spare, man. So if you see me getting up, you see me getting up, going back and forth.
I don't
Oh,
think your stomach has 2 hours to spare though.
right now it's good. I got some Alka Seltzer and some Pepto Bismol, so I got it right here next to me. That's why I'm drinking water now. So I got
Right,
my
right,
Pepto Bismol next to me. So if I need to take it, I'll take it. So
right. So Matt, when me and you were discussing this when I was working on the topic. You told me one of the things we need to talk about was learning to live with your flaws. What's your thoughts on that one?
Well, we all got them. We all got lots of them. And you have to recognize where your weaknesses are and just deal with that because everyone is going to have parts of them where they aren't able to do certain things. You know, you'll have your great and your things where you're bad. You'll also have to recognize that what you know you may not see all your flaws. Someone will have to point out something to you,
Uh-huh.
and that's not going to be a comfortable experience. You have to realize that people are going to see you in a certain light, and that's not always going to be a good light. So you have to figure out what you're going to do about that.
Yeah, yeah. Woo. In other words, accepting criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time doing that too because I would
Yeah.
always get
Guilty.
emotional or get offended. I get
Guilty.
Dre,
You're discharged.
you guys had a hard time dealing with that.
yeah,
Whoa.
The
I did.
hella guilty is charged. Hello.
Hey man, look, it's part of
Whoa.
we're talking about healing, right? We're talking about healing, right? So I gotta admit that, I gotta be open about it if we gotta break the stigma. So yeah, I had a hard time, especially like it was coming from people that I cared about. I used to get offended and emotional. I never showed it. I mean, I'll probably just shut down and not say anything. But now, considering the fact that I've been in therapy for about a year, uh, I can accept it now because, like I said, I'd rather have that than a bunch of yes men enabling me to in destructive behaviors. It's like I said a couple weeks ago, Mike called me out on some BS, and I took it with an open mind because he could have just let it slide, and I could have kept, he could have kept enabling me. But that's what real friends do, and that's also part of the healing process when you have people to hold you accountable for the BS too, as well. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
that's
Well,
that's also part of your healing.
I have my own story. I have my own story, and it's actually the guy to what my left, right here.
The one with
This
the
guy
dog.
a long time
Where?
ago.
Uh,
Oh
Hello.
goodness, one of
Hello.
those again. Dre just disappeared again.
Uh,
Asking him, Cox.
ladies and gentlemen, Dre may have forgot to pay Cox, so they might have cut off.
Yeah,
Nah, he probably just
yeah,
having he's just probably having computer issues. But hey, you laughed. Laughter is good.
but yeah, man.
The guy
It
below
was a
us. That guy.
below us, now, below us. All right. Um, Matt called me out on the issue. It was a. I have a tendency to kind of be an asshole. Be an asshole. And
No, not
one
Hold
thing
you.
on,
I can always
hold on, Mike. Dre. I mean, Mike. When does Matt not call you out? He calls you out damn near every other day.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, go ahead.
I don't. It's not a lot of people that I actually listen to. It really isn't a lot of like I can literally count on three fingers about how many people I listen to, and Matt is probably one of those guys because believe it or not, Matt and I have it's strange. It really is strange because we think a lot alike, and shit that he does, I expect him to do it to me, and he does the exact same thing to me. So if I see something, for example, man, I was going through this time where I was dropping everybody. I didn't. I was dropping everybody for a certain person, and I really didn't.
Yeah, I got dropped too. That shit was not cool.
Yeah, I was dropping everybody. I didn't have a ton of people to talk to. I pretty much that one person was my center, and Matt was like, "Bro, this is like, what the hell are you doing? You're nice, you're being nice, and you're dropping dropping your friends and whatnot." And Matt was like, "Bro,
Wait, you know it's a problem when being nice is a sign.
yeah, that's
Mike is
I'm
being
cutting
nice.
him,
What
man.
the hell is wrong?
I'm being
He
nice.
wasn't
I'm
just
not
being
cussing.
nice. He was being like overly nice, like to the point where you're like, okay, did you hit your head too hard or something, boy?
The sickening kind of nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm good on that,
And
bro. I'll
he
pass.
called me out, man. And that's what it's about, man. It's like you can't have people in your corner that's going to tell you, fucking sunshines and rainbows and shit like that. Like, no, it's some nightmares, it's some ghosts. it's a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Like what's really going on with you and what we see, you know, like with Dre. I remember I don't know if Dre gonna be cool with me saying that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But there was this instance where he was just, and Dex can remember this. It was the instance where he was just doing things, and I was like, Dre, Dre, like, come on, bro.
Are you talking about
This is not you.
last summer?
Yeah, last summer when he was, this dude actually got on live, a Facebook live. Now this, like Dre don't do Facebook live.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
don't do
yeah.
people.
That
And I
that's
was
when we
like,
Yeah,
knew
I remember
Dre.
that.
That's when we all came together and
I
said we
had,
needed to stage an intervention
but
or something. I remember that.
that's what it's about. Like you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. If
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah,
comfortable with being uncomfortable, then there's room to grow. But if you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable, you're gonna stay the same. And I think that's essentially what we all have to in kind of grips. Like we're not perfect. Live with your flaws. You know?
You gotta embrace them. Gotta embrace your flaws. That's what makes everybody unique.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not everybody's perfect. I try not to be. I know I'm not. I'm definitely not. I'm far from it. Uh,
Speaking of which, that can lead us into our next topic on how to, you know, begin the healing. Is you need a support team.
definitely.
that's my
Like
circle.
I'm not gonna lie. As a former leader of Marines, I was trained and drilled into. I damn near died. Go out there, accomplish that goal, Marine. No excuses. You accept nothing but the finished product. So I naturally thought, okay, well, fuck, there ain't shit I can really do. Wrong. There's a lot I can't do by myself.
Hmm.
Now, with these three that on the screen that y'all see, and a few other people that are, because each person should not just have one circle. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You don't want to be one group of friends as your only group of friends. Something's wrong. Something's very wrong then because you don't have other viewpoints. You don't have other opinions. You don't have other ways. You don't have other cultures around you. So you can't see it from other ways if all you got is 6 friends. My main circle, yes, it's 6 people deep. But if I don't have other people around me to say, yo, have you thought of this? What happens when these three and LaDonna and Kim and Nikki don't see it that way? They all on the same page. But my other friends might be like, yo, we've done this before. Try this. Make that right on this street, then make that left and you'll be there. Cool, because Matt, and Mike was gonna be following the GPS saying, okay, it said go all the way around town and then double back. So you tell me I could have been there in 5 minutes instead of 30?
Yeah, but we would have had a fun 30 minutes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Take that same route, man.
As long as you bring the tank. If you bring in the tank, then we good.
Oh, then
Well,
people would be getting out of the way.
actually, if you brought the tank, we'd be there in 2 minutes. You just drive over everybody. I forgot. But you know, you have to have a support team. Like anytime I stumble, there's Matt there to tell me what I need to hear. Dre's there to give me a shoulder to lean on. Mike's there to try to, either break the ice or piss me off
Oh,
enough
I'm
until I
gonna break
talk.
the ice. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm breaking the ice. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I
see,
do. I
see,
break the ice.
see. And LaDonna's there for when Mike's gotten on my nerves enough to where I don't want to talk no more, so I can talk to her. Kim's there because that me and her spend life together. So every day we trying to bounce ideas off each other's heads to figure out what's the best way to work. You know, Nikki's there to try to keep. Well, me and Nikki put our heads together to try to keep that one in that bottom corner on your right. Yeah,
Are you
yeah,
talking about me?
you. Who,
That guy.
who.
That guy.
Yeah, like
That
the new
guy.
day. Who, you. We try to keep you from. Wait.
Pretty much jumping
There
off.
you go. That guy. There you go. Yep. We're trying to keep him. Trying to keep him flying right.
Hey man,
Like
that's what
Tuskegee
makes.
Airman, fly right, soldier. That.
Yeah,
But
that's what.
if I
But
didn't
we
have
got.
my circle, My survivor's guilt would have took me out a few times. 2000, let's see, 2012, tried it. 2013, tried it. 2014, tried it. And the only one who actually knew was Dre.
Mm-hmm.
And every
Well,
time Dre's like, I told you your purpose is not over yet. We still got
it's not.
things to do.
Yeah.
Just
And all
like
that.
I know Dre don't want to hear it, but there's been many a times where Dre used to go overboard drinking until me, Mike, and Matt and LaDonna got into his ass enough to where he got tired of hearing it.
I mean, I still enjoy it every now and then, but it wasn't bad as it was last year. Last summer was very horrible for me.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, you and the Mason chapter.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah. That was,
I thought we was going to have to bail your ass out.
but see, that's the thing. And Dex, you brought up a good point as far as with the you got to have different circles because everybody knows about a buddy of mine that's kind of, he's kind of fighting for his life right now. Uh,
Hmm.
Get better,
he
D. We need you.
and he, matter of fact, let me tag him because I know he said he wanted to watch tonight, so I'm gonna tag him in it. But everybody knows me and that guy. Like I said, he was my mentor in the Navy. Like when I first got to Hawaii, he was my he was the guy who basically took me under his wing, and he kind of basically showed me the ropes, not just military life, but just life in general. And he kind of kept me out of trouble. So when I had that incident last year, not only did he was there, Nikki was there as well when I needed him. Because if it wasn't for them, who knows where I would have been? I would have been in Houston somewhere in the ditch somewhere in Houston. So uh, I had to really after that incident, I really had to focus on healing myself because I was self-destructing. Like all the stuff Dex was telling me about that I did for him way back when, he kind of did it tenfold on me this go around when I needed it. Because last year was a pretty rough year for me. It
I'm
was.
just doing what I can, bro.
And all you guys did. I mean, it wasn't just Dexter, it was Mike, it was Matt, it was LaDonna, it was Nikki. They all, then eventually Kim joined the fold when we, started talking and she checked on me. But I also had friends outside of my circle that I do talk to. Like I said, my homeboy, he, I was going to go and, I don't really want to try not to get emotional because I know it's kind of, it sucks when you have somebody that's close to you like that,
Yeah.
kind of see him
Yeah.
down like that. It kind of takes a toll on you because, like I said, he's been pretty much my brother since about 20 years. Like when I ain't have nobody to turn to, he always was there. He never switched up. Never switched up on me. He never changed because friends over time don't fold on. And the fact of the matter is, he never switched up. He always kept it 100 with me, even when I was fucking up. He still was like, "Hey, you're fucking up. You need to get your shit right." Okay, so I'm just being a brother to him at his time of need because whenever I needed somebody like that, he never. I could call him in the middle of the night, boo-hoo crying, and he'll cuss me out for calling him late. But then eventually he'll talk to me.
Yeah.
Because he's
Yeah.
in Florida. He's in Florida, so
Yeah.
it's a 2 hour time difference. So he'll be like, "Why you the fuck you calling me for?" And then he can kind of hear the concern in my voice, and then he'll be like, he'll talk to me. But I didn't really want to get off on a tangent like that. I just remember Dex talking about how you need circles, and then I talk to people on Facebook. I talk to Sean. I talk to Tyrell. I talk to Sam. I talk to Dennis. I talk to D Block. I talk to these guys because I have everybody thinks I'm a strong one, but I'm just as sometimes even the strong ones need somebody. So you definitely got to develop a support team when you're healing process to have somebody to cheer you on when you're having a bad day. When you don't feel like fighting, let somebody else fight for you. And that's
Yeah.
how I feel. He needs me, and I'm gonna fight for him. So every time his wife puts up a post of him doing better, I'm gonna share it because I told him it wasn't his time. Aneurysms were serious, man. He could have, he was having seizures. He could. I mean, I was very emotional, man. Like I didn't know who to talk to. I just kind of sat there and cried a little bit because I was just like, I hated seeing him like that. But even when he he kind of was down. He was still cracking jokes. He was still, we talked about football. We talked about life. So I mean, I'm happy for people like that. I'm happy for you guys. Even though we'll have our moments where we'll go back and forth and we'll have heated debates and arguments. I wouldn't want any people like you. I'd love to have you guys in my corner. I wouldn't trade it for shit, honestly. So you need people like that. And
You
like you
can't
said,
get rid of us, Negro.
No,
I couldn't
I
even
already told you,
do it
Trey.
for Stroud.
You try to run away. I'm gonna hunt you down, and I can't.
Nah, I still
Matt, you ain't
gotta,
got to worry about it. I'm
I
gonna be
still
down the
gotta come
street
to,
from him. When he try to run away, I'm taking his kneecaps like Jack Bauer. Try
nah,
it.
I still gotta come to Canada. So that's definitely in the works. I'm gonna bring a
You know
little
what?
bit.
I'll give him back when it's time to go to the fights. But other than that, I'm taking your kneecaps. You's not going nowhere.
Nah, you know what? And then, matter of fact, I do have a session tomorrow, so that's another part of the healing process. I have another therapy session tomorrow. I've been going good for about a year, so it's all love on my end. And like I said, I still have days. Everybody does. You're human. You're still gonna have days where you don't
Yep.
know the answers or you don't know what's going on. So you definitely gotta take that into consideration as well. When you don't have nobody to turn to, get somebody else to fight. Dex, no, I tell Dex all the time when he feels tired. Lean on me. I got it. We'll walk through this together. That's pretty much how everybody is, honestly. So,
You right, Evil Ryu. You right.
but we do have a comment here, a question here. It says, "What if you're too in tune with your flaws?" Um, any one of you guys can answer that
Well,
question if
that's
you want.
you can't be too critical on your. You have to look at yourself kind of an unbiased.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, okay, this is what's wrong with me. This is what's good with me. This is what I don't like about me. And then let's say, okay, what can I do to fix these things? What can I do to change how I feel about certain things? It's like Dre's going to therapy to help fix himself. You've got to look at what can change these things you're feeling. Then
Yeah,
Uh, and to add on to that, for the wee baby you, because I like that profile picture. You know, you're never a finished product. As long as you can open your eyes every day, draw air into your lungs, and keep pushing, you're not done. You're not some cookies in the oven that can burn. You aren't a cake that fell because you were too loud. You remember grandma's house. Don't you be too damn loud, you're gonna make my cake fall. Yeah. You ain't a cake. You're a human. And RJ, you're also a father. You're never too in tune with your flaws to fix them.
to
Especially
improve.
because there's an old saying that these three love to yell at me all the time. It ain't time for you to give up because you have to remember who's watching.
definitely gotta take that into consideration as well. And
Remember
with me
who's
personally,
watching.
yeah,
Remember what you're fighting for, what you're doing this for. And if
it's
it's
like
if it's
I
truly a
tell,
flaw, if it's
yeah,
truly a flaw, you're not gonna be afraid to address it.
you're gonna have to, or you're gonna self-destruct. If you're that critical with your flaws, or you're too stressed out because certain things you can't do, you're gonna self-destruct. You really are.
What one of the things I think that is important for people to know is that we are we feel as though that we have an issue. Like for me personally, like I don't listen to. I think I know every fucking thing, and at times, all right, and I've gotten better at listening to people because, like, my mother and I, like, we
Yeah,
go
Oh, my bad.
we
My
go
bad.
head to head.
My bad. My bad.
We go head to head, and I think one of the issues that I had and then she had is that we think it's supposed to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? I think we chase perfection. It's like we're like it's almost being critical with yourself. I'm too messed up,
Mm-hmm.
to be able
Mm-hmm.
to be, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
you're too messed up to be forgiven in a way. And I think, the things that we've done in our past, or we feel as though it's like it's it's not correctable, and I think that's something that we all have to, understand. It's like, and Matt said it before. Like, you have to learn to live with your flaws. I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. That doesn't mean that I can't get better. Get better. Don't chase perfection. Understand that this is a lifelong journey, because one thing that I'm trying to get better at is actually taking the time to think. Because once I'm there, it's hard for me to turn it off. Like when I'm
Right.
hot, I'm angry. It's hard for me to turn it off. I'm not very good at turning it off. I'm
People
angry and I'm mad.
people he can stay there for a month. We've experienced
I
it.
can easily stay there for like easily, and I'm learning how to slow the fuck down and just like think, slow down and think. All right,
Indeed.
that's my biggest. And I'm much better than I was. I'm not there. I'm not a finished product, but understand that you're never going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to get better, one step at a time. Like I was telling, kind of making a boxing analogy. It's like, Mike Tyson. You was accustomed to seeing Mike Tyson going 1 round, 2 rounds, and that's it. And you see him going 3 rounds, it's like, okay, something is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going 3 rounds. He's not as strong as he once was. Like, take it one step at a time. Go one, two, three, whatever, how many steps it takes for you to get there. What? How many? Damn. All right.
Bless you.
Look, but take one step at a time, man. I think we try to take 10, 15 steps at a time to try to get to a destination quick, fast, in a hurry. And it's okay to just take that one step, that 2 step, one step at a time, man. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to, you know, get to, you know, go from Alabama to Arizona all in one trip. It's okay to take 4, 5 different steps, you know, all destinations and whatnot. And I think that's
True.
what a lot of people, do themselves wrong. It's like I can't get there because damn, look at this. I'm here, and the destination where I want to reach is all the way over there. Take one step at a time, man. Do not try to do too much with yourself. And like I say, like Dre said, man, this therapy, whatever it is, man. If you have to write, listen to music, learn to calm your soul, man. Learn to calm your spirit. And I think that's the biggest thing. That don't expect too much from yourself. Yourself.
Definitely.
Indeed. Indeed. Uh, Mike, I'm gonna touch on a few things you said. Chasing perfection. I'm gonna be real with you. There is no such thing as perfection.
Hmm.
It is a concept that is made to keep. It's either to help control or to help manipulate.
Yeah.
And your goal in life shouldn't be I want to be perfect, because if you're doing that, that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. What you should do is just try to be better than you were the day before.
Mm-hmm.
That way,
So
that way you're accomplishing a big goal in small bites. I've learned a lot from these three. Don't let my hyperness and my rowdiness fool you on Red Cup Reds. I'm actually wise when I need to be. When I need to be.
mm-hmm.
That don't mean I want to be. That just means I need to be. So,
Yeah.
however, that does lead us to the next topic, which that was a great leadway, Mike. I don't know how the hell you did that.
Well, hold on. We got one more. We got one
We
more
got
comment.
we got one more comment.
One more question. He said, "What if they're building to be your own demise?" Let's put the support system. Only thing I'm saying about that is you got to show discernment. When you eventually, when you know somebody long enough, you know what their intention is going to be, and you have to show discernment on certain things. If you know a certain person not moving a certain way, or they're moving differently from what you're trying to do, then
Mm-hmm.
you got to make that decision to cut them off. If it's not beneficial to you or your friends, then you really
Right.
probably have to just let them go altogether. So if they're really trying to plot on your demise, you really got to show discernment, because you're gonna know people long enough to see what their intentions are.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um,
be afraid. Don't be afraid to drop people. Stop hanging around people
Yeah.
that you know they're not good for you, man. Don't be
It's like
afraid to drop people.
it's like
Oh,
it's
and
like
that includes family. That
Oh
includes
yeah.
your blood.
Amen.
That includes your blood.
Amen.
My
yep.
my 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 blood father, Dexter LeBron Mine Senior, because I am a junior. I don't speak to. I don't just pick up the phone and call. You know, he bought the girls Christmas stuff this year, and me and Kim were looking at each other while he's talking on the phone, like, okay, who is this dude?
Hmm.
Who is this dude? And is this the Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
Because of my 35 years of existence, going on 36.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And that's the thing. It's like the great Michael LeVar Troy would say, it's like giving mouth to mouth to a fly. And also,
Oh,
with
oh,
that
hold
being
on
said,
now. Mouth to mouth to a fly, my guy.
yeah,
Wait,
it's like
wait a
giving mouth
wait
to
a
a
minute,
fly.
Jesus.
Yeah, because it means it's basically a fly in what he's meant as a fly is a dead situation. If you know the situation is dead, stop giving it life. Stop giving it
Mhm.
life because it's gonna drain
Mhm.
you. So don't, and it's like my sister said. She said you can love people, you can forgive them, but don't nobody if you know they're toxic and you know they're gonna bring bad vibes. Don't invite them back in your life. You can love them, but you can love them from a distance as well.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say
Okay.
about that. So move
Yeah,
on
it's
to the
cool.
next.
It's cool. Before we move on, I have a question. What do y'all think about this? It says you'd be surprised at how many times a man sits in his car, on his bed, in the bathroom, in the living room, and holds his tears because he is dead ass stressed or lost or confused or hurt or ready to give up. But when he shows his face again, he looks perfectly fine, unbothered, and he still manages to smile and go on about his business like nothing happened. Men are some of the most resilient, overlooked, and in the mind of in the mind underappreciated to go through such an act. Whoa, I'm sorry, I go through so much. Can I speak to your spirit for a second? You are the glue that holds everything and everyone together. Your very presence is power. When you speak, it resonates, and yet your silence is deafening. And all that you go through as you fight for not only who you are, but what you are and what you're striving to be, just know, well, she sees y'all. You, if you are a man and you're reading this, I just want to say, I appreciate you. When you can't win the day, just keep winning the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
That's
There's a lot of truth in that statement
Yeah. A lot.
because as men, we were taught to never
no
speak on
emotion.
it,
Yeah.
never
Never
show
show emotion.
anything. Just head down, keep moving.
The
Men
macho
don't
attitude.
cry, son. That's what bitches do. You put your head down, you keep pushing because you gotta. Yeah, yeah.
Suck it up,
It's
basically.
time.
That's
It's
what,
time to stop that shit. Let's be completely real. It's time to stop that shit.
yeah.
It's
It
okay
is.
to cry.
I tell my son all the time. Shit, I had an episode where like I said, I was talking about my boy and him being in the hospital. I had him.
Okay, so my bro said he's cutting his pops off. Hey, if you got to cut your pops off for a better life, then go for it. I
Yeah.
mean,
But
it is what it is.
I like this. I like this saying that he said.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So
See, I know the actual person behind the name, and
yeah,
he's a good dude. He's very wise, and he will throw a zinger or two in there. Kind of like the Canadian, kind of like the Canadian. Yeah. But on to the next topic is when you're going through things, especially if you have a circle like ours, you have to have an open mind
Yeah.
because I've been called on my bullshit many a times,
we all have.
and if I hadn't had an open mind, I wouldn't have had a circle.
Yeah,
Because there's been plenty of times, especially with Matt and Mike, because they're
Yeah.
persistent. They are persistent.
Well, hell,
They
you and
don't
me
just
didn't
they
talk
don't
for
they
what,
don't
two
leave you
years?
alone until they know you feel better. Those two are persistent, and Dre will tell you, as veterans, our first reaction to trials and tribulations is we back off, We go into our space, then we plot and figure out how to go. These motherfuckers right here, these two motherfuckers right here, they will jump in your space with you, be like, "Hey, I said." Say it one more again. Say it one more again, and I'm gonna be done. Look, you know what?
That's
Fuck
what
you,
I
fuck you, fuck you. I'm out.
Yeah, it's crazy like that because they know if I go old or 30, I'm not in my right frame of mind. But I can say one thing about Mike and Matt, even Phil too. They know if I go silent, it's either I'm asleep
Oh
or
yeah,
I'm not.
Phil is good. Phil is good for. He won't say much, but when he says something
Yeah.
in that smooth talking Barry White radio voice of his, he
Yeah,
gonna
it was
snatch.
just
He gonna
smooth jazz.
snatch his soul and drag it down the street. And say, "Nah, you done? Now come on back." Wait a minute, motherfucker. Hold the
That's
fuck
why we call
up.
it. That's why we call him Preacher Phil, man. But
Yeah,
I want
that's preacher
to bring up
man.
another. I want to bring up another comment. My sister check in. Yoshi's here. She
Wait. Hold on. Oh, okay. Sure.
yeah,
Go
she
ahead.
put a comment up. So she said, too many men were raised to be tough and not vulnerable. This manifests into emotional imbalance and toxicity. That's true. That's true. That really is. That's why. That's
The
why.
toxicity of your city.
Yeah. That's why. Me personally. That's why I have. I gave my son that safe space to cry and that safe space to express himself because I'm trying to break this thing that men shouldn't be emotional. I'm a Cancer, so you know I'm gonna be emotional as fuck sometimes because I'm a Cancer. It happens. Uh, especially after last night, I was really emotional last night. I mean, and then like I said, I was talking about my situation with my friend who's in the hospital right now. I think that's why I said, and remember I told y'all about the what happened with Iverson and Wade when they did that embrace. You need more of that.
Oh man, that hug
When I
hit me.
saw that,
That hit me all in the PPs.
right when you see that, that really like gave me hope that maybe we can kind of break the cycle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we have to break the toxicity because if you raise boys to be narcissistic and manipulative, then they're eventually gonna grow into young men who are gonna be doing the same thing. I was like that. I thought I knew everything. I was arrogant, but I had a bunch of reality checks. Yeah, so I gotta make sure that I break that cycle so my son will go down the same path. Like I said, he's got to be 14, so he's already experiencing a lot of things as a teenager. So I gotta make myself better to kind of pass the experience off to him, so he won't go down the same route I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But Yoshi, that's Yoshi to address what you just said about creating a space to be vulnerable and weakness in. That's what we were talking about having, you got to have the right support system for that, and you also have
Yeah.
to have an open mind because not every
But
woman is
that
on that. Not every woman is on that wavelength yet, or male, depending on your orientation. Whatever you do, that's on you. We support you. Go about your business. But like Matt to tell you, when Kobe died, it hit him, and he had to tell his lady, "Hey, let me."
Yeah.
That's what it was.
No,
That's what
that was a hard one.
like I said. My cousin.
Better yet, when Kobe died, I had to leave my girl alone because we both. I was helping a friend work on his car. I'm on the phone, messed up. She on the phone crying like that was my second favorite basketball player of all time. Mine too, by the way. And yeah, she was down for about a week. Like,
It's like I said, my cousin I never seen him cry. He hit me up and he was boo-hooing because that was his guy. Kobe was his guy. So, and the whole Nipsey and Kobe thing, watching them, like I said, I'm sorry that it happened, but on the flip side, I'm grateful that it did because I've never seen men openly grieve like that, and people didn't judge.
And
They did
and the way
I
we
had
know
to teach
Kobe,
myself.
Kobe wouldn't want us to mourn because of the Mamba mentality. We're supposed to make the best of the situation.
Yeah.
I honestly had to teach myself like to have feelings because like growing up in rough neighborhoods, like I saw things that most kids shouldn't see. We shouldn't be seeing first day in the neighborhood seeing dead bodies all over the freaking place,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. Like, that's something that I shouldn't have to see. And like subconsciously, you kind of suppress certain feelings because you're thinking in the back of your mind, what if this and that happened? So over the years, after even though, like Dre said, you don't want people to die for you to be able to to learn certain lessons, but that's the circle of life. That's what happens. Some things have to happen to people, for us to learn. It took me one of the most worst lessons, worst times for me is I'm a protective. I'm a protective person now. Like that's my personality. You're not gonna mess with my boys. You're not gonna mess with my family. You're not gonna do anything. All right. You're not gonna mess with people in my circle. That's not happening. All right. You're gonna get your ass whooped or you're gonna die as one or two. I don't play when it comes to my circle. All right. And for me, it my best friend passing away and getting a call to say, Mike, can you come? And I don't come because I'm actually, in church. And the next day I get home, the next day I get a call saying he passed away that night. You know what I'm saying? And feeling guilty that I could not do anything for years. Like these are the type of things that happens, but that situation had to happen for me, to understand that I can't be in control of everything. I'm not in control of everything. You know, you're not invincible. And that's hard for us to understand. You're not invincible. You don't have complete control of everything that's going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? And like that's hard for men to understand because we're taught to be warriors, to be ass kickers, to be protectors. Like that's what we're taught. And when you can't control your own destiny as a man, that's when you feel like a failure. And I say, it's okay to fail at certain things, but it's how you come back from that failure that makes you a man. Okay? How you come back from the failure that makes you a man. All right? That's what the truth
Right,
is.
Yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell. So that's all. That's why you got to have an open mind about a lot of things. Yes, a man's job is to provide and protect his family, but also you got to have that emotional side. You got to have that compassion. You got to have, you got to have discernment. You got to know when it's time to drop the protector and provider and just be a crutch sometimes, especially if you're in a relationship and you have children. You have to be that crutch sometimes. You don't always have to have where like it's like Deck said. Sometimes just put the cake away. Sometimes just you don't have to save everybody in your family. Most of the time, some people just want to listen. You gotta have an open mind about stuff. But like I said, like I said, me and Dex, we got kids that are, they're
yeah,
getting older.
yeah.
Sometimes, I have to check myself sometimes because I be trying to, if my son's having a bad day, I'm trying to save him where all he wants to do is just vent. So I have to have an open mind with him because there's gonna come a time where he's gonna start asking really tough personal questions, and I really have to take into consideration how like it's like Mike said, you gotta be tactful about it.
Yeah.
You gotta approach it, with an open mind. You can't be kind of, closed minded. But I think that's what my issue was with me and my dad. My dad's kind of closed minded on certain things.
Mm,
Whereas I said that I'm gonna be open because it's gonna come a time where I'm gonna have to face his music, and he's gonna
yeah.
ask about my past, and I'm gonna have to be honest with him openly and tell him that certain things didn't happen the way I wanted to, but that's not gonna change how I raise you and give you that avenue to express yourself. Because like I said, it's like it goes back to what I said earlier. If we enable these young boys to do what they want with no repercussion, and they grow up to be men like I was. I was
Yeah.
very like broken. I was a very broken man. until I started taking therapy. I was very broken. Like I said, last year was horrible for me. Like I said, you never see me go Facebook Live, crump up my ass on Facebook Live. That was an eye opener.
Yeah.
That's not even my favorite. My favorite incident that happened. Dre went
There
to
was a few
Florida.
memorable
Dre
ones.
went to Florida, got drunk, and went on the attack on me and Mike because we tried to keep him from making a mistake. And the fucked up part is Dre told us, "Look, bro, don't let me do nothing stupid." Okay, I got you, bro. Bro, stop! You doing something stupid. You shut the fuck up. You don't tell me what to do. I do what the fuck I want.
let's just say
Alrighty then.
I've come a long way from
Man.
the 2019 Drake. I've
Yeah,
come a long
you
way.
have. You have.
I've come a long way.
I'll say this about keeping an open mind. You have to keep an open mind, but you also have to realize just because we were taught it doesn't mean it was right.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I said.
the way they did things in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s,
Yeah,
it's 2020, baby. That ain't gonna work for these. And we wouldn't wonder what's wrong with these kids now.
yeah,
That's what's wrong with them.
yeah.
That's because they've been either forced to do something. We don't let them think independently. We don't let them feel. They're forced to do what we want them to do. So when they finally get a little bit of freedom, they don't know how to act.
I think that's what my problem was, and that's because I grew up in a military.
Yeah. Military child, military veteran. Trust
Both
me,
my
I know.
parents. It's a very unique experience. I was different from other kids. I put that out. I was different from other kids because when I was in Columbus, when I grew up in Columbus,
Ooh, the kill
you could
box.
tell that I was different because I was a military kid. Both my parents served. They was always saying they were always deployed or going to the field or something like that. So I had to kind of like grow up quick. And so when I got I went from going to a school on post on base to going to a public school out in town, and that was a culture shock. Like certain things I did or certain things I wore, it kind of like made me a target. And I really had to like fend for myself because, like I said, I was considered the nerd in high school. I mean, I played sports, but I wasn't part of the in crowd.
Right.
Only time I was part of the in crowd is when I played sports. But other than that, I was always in my books, and I kind of was the outsider because, like I said, you know how high school is. Everybody has their cliques, their groups, their friends. I mean, I had friends, but the fact of the matter is I'm taking that now. I'm taking that now in consideration because y'all know what happened last year with my son when he was getting bullied, and I almost burnt down the city of Jacksonville on that. So,
I almost bought a plane ticket, came on down myself.
I had. Well, like I said, the ticket was $800, and I paid for it that day. When his mom called and told me that he's having an issue at school, and this dude keep messing with him, calling him the N-word. I bought my ticket that day. And I left the next day.
And told us while he was in the air, like, this happened. Oh, I'm on the way now. I got it.
Only thing I want y'all to do is put money on my books. That's all I want y'all to do. That's all I want you to do.
Dre, between me and Matt alone, do you think there's gonna be money on books, or is there gonna be a jail left? Because
and it's but I took it because I was bullied before. I was bullied in school. I was.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is, I have an open mind with it because I've been there. I've been that kid that's been picked on because he didn't wear the name brand clothes. He didn't have the Jordans. He didn't, he wore glasses. He kind of wore his pants kind of like Steve Urkel styles. I've been picked on. I was the ugly duckling. Now you see the beautiful swan.
Wait, hold on. Don't be talking about my little nephew. What's wrong with you?
No. I mean, my son wanted to fight him. First of all, my son wanted to fight him. I was all for it.
That's my little pancake right there.
His mom was like, no. His mom was like, no, he don't need to fight. But me personally, I was like, smack shit out of him. Smack him. Smack him.
You did right.
But you have to have an open mind with your experiences because, like I said, you can teach your kids. Like I said, I've been bullied. I've cried. I did stuff I wasn't supposed to do, and I'm very honest with him all the time. Every time he asks me a question, I don't sugarcoat it. I tell him like this is how it is and this is what's gonna be. I know eventually he's gonna start asking about the birds and the bees, and I'm gonna have an open mind about that too. So I mean, he's already at the stage now where he's starting to like
I'm not
girls.
ready.
I know.
Uh-oh.
It's the age of the internet, Jared. Do you think he's really going to be asking you, or is he going to be like coming to you, "Hey, pops, you see this new position?"
Yeah, exactly. I had to get
Hey, Pop, I saw this on Google. What do you think? Like,
Oh, oh boy.
that moment when you have to first off, you got to be like, hey, wait a minute. But you got to say that
Don't
picture so you can
sound
put that position in
missionary,
your
right?
mind. But hey, I got to try that when I get home. Wait a minute now. Hey,
You over there like Jack, I'm over there
bad. Attaboy.
over here taking notes
Attaboy.
like, hey, what's it doing? Really? Oh, let me write that down. But
Right.
in all seriousness,
Hey,
though,
hey, girl, come here. Let's go try this out real quick. Oh,
I know he's gonna
We're
ask.
getting old though. We better start stretching before we do that shit.
Yeah, well, I'll be like that.
yeah. We definitely got to
I
stretch.
know. Hey. I know I got some position that I know I can't do, man.
Hey, I got a bad back and my knees hurt. Shoot, I was trying to call myself trying to.
We the old men squad around here, man. I'm telling you. But before we go on, I would like to say that we have a guest entering the.
Is that who I think it is?
Yeah, I guess we gonna call this the sanctuary. So we got a guest. So here we go.
Got it. Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear you loud and clear.
Hey man, this like a record. We got 5 folks on it. It's like a record.
Right. This a whole round table discussion right here. I'm saying.
And now we have a woman's point of view for about stuff that we talk about. Now we have a woman's point of view on a lot of stuff. Like I said, we can a lot of stuff we can start on. She can come in and clean up. We'll call her Junior Junior. She can clean up on me. Come in and clean up. A lot of stuff we've been saying. So
I'm gonna warn y'all before we get going though. That one right there, she'll
It's in
call a
my
spade a spade
face.
and laugh at you at the same time.
It's in my face. I'm trying to get it out my face.
See,
I also want to bring up another comment though. That's true. I had that. There's so many adults trying to heal their inner child. It's hard to do what you have never been taught. That was my issue. I had to because, like I said, I was a military kid. So I mean, I grew up a lot different from the other kids. So I really had to heal that inner child to grow as a person because I still was fighting with it. All right, but welcome to the show. So you got the floor. If you want to introduce yourself, let the world know who you are, and then we'll get into our next subject. Or you can jump in on this one.
Well, I kind of missed it trying to get on, so I don't even know where you guys left off. But I just thought that this was a good topic because actually talking to Dre, I've realized I'm going through my own now. So I think it's y'all had the male perspective, but I think women we do go through it too, and you probably need to hear our point of view too.
Oh yeah.
And I'm lady.
Also,
People don't know.
go ahead. I was gonna say also for women out there, we have a safe space for you every Thursday with Vicky, Donna, and Kim called Champagne Conversation. So we give the men a safe space, but women we got a safe space for you as well. So
but that does not mean the women is not welcome.
oh no, absolutely not. I just put that out there in case if somebody wants to know that if the women want to know if they have a safe space, we do. Got one for you guys too. You got to make it work. That's another part of the healing process too. We got to heal women and men. We got to heal to come together. Because, like I said, it's a lot of infighting, so to say, between men and women on certain things. I figured we start healing ourselves before we can start healing everybody else. We can heal each other. The world will be a better place for our children. Once we leave this earth, it's gonna be up to them to take care of it and move on.
I agree.
So
That's how I feel like it's been hard on me because I'm a full-time mom, wife, and my job is stressing. Like I'm being dependent on no matter where I go, home, work. I didn't realize I was stressing. I mean, you try to hold it in, you try to be like the strong person for everybody. You pretty much put yourself last. And I realized that I've been doing that, honestly. So, you know, I don't know, just I don't know. I guess I need to start vetting and talking to people because I keep it all the way in.
You got to. Because if you don't, you're gonna self-destruct.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. Like I said, last year was not my proudest year. Last year, it wasn't at all. And I talked to all you guys, and y'all know I've had my moments where I would go full tilt with no repercussions, and then I wake up and it's kind of like Bruce Banner and the Hulk. I turn to the Hulk, and then I turn to Bruce Banner, and then I look back and say, "What the fuck did I just do?" You know? So yeah, definitely gotta talk to somebody. Like I said, I've been in therapy for a year, and it's helping tremendously with my life and how to handle things. So give it a shot. If you need to vent to somebody, if you can't vent to your friends, and you need somebody with no judgment, talk to a therapist. My therapist is very good. She's a black woman, and she knows a lot of stuff that we can't do as black. As black. I mean, Matt, you're black. So I mean, you count. You're black.
Yeah, he's a black. Yeah. He's definitely
So,
black. All right.
but the fact of the matter is that you have to really express how you feel, because if you hold it in, that's how you really are. So talk to somebody. It's not your friend. Like I said, next
I don't talk. I don't talk to nobody.
Everybody knows. I mean, Maggie hit me up today. We kind of had to talk today. They know my inbox is open. Anybody want to talk to me and they don't know who else to talk to, and they just want to vent an ear, hit my inbox. I'd rather you do that than go do something. Because trust me, I've been on both ends where I vented to somebody and then I did something stupid. You don't want to do it.
Hold on. Before we move on, I need to address this right here. Keish, we got you. Anytime. Marriage stress between your partner and stuff need to be talked about.
Got you.
We got you.
Yep.
We can I can fellas, you got me next week?
Yeah, we hold it down.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Approach nature. See, there you go. You just pick the topic for next week because I'll probably be sleeping 27 hours to drive Thursday.
Yeah.
So now that we've
it's like that too.
It is.
And trust me, y'all know me long enough that I do have my I used to do a lot of women bashing. I had to let that go. I used to do a lot of women bashing.
Ooh, boy, did you?
I did. I used to do a lot of women bashing. And I got checked a few times. Trust me. I got checked a few times. Maggie's checked me.
Oh yeah.
Youre checked me.
Hold on. Oh Lord. Maggie would give it to you too, okay? She is
has on several occasions.
They know those two, especially the one that's right below her, right next to her. Yeah, they got into it a couple of times like that. Trust me. All right.
You know, I did not like Matt at one point. I was like, "Who is this?"
I'm such a nice guy. What are you talking about?
Like, who is this man calling me a dictator or whatever he used to call me?
Yeah, I did a lot.
Man, you're full of shit.
But you know what? It's part of the healing process. Because, like I said, I had my issues with women. Y'all know how I am. I had several hangups about women. I had a lot of rewiring of my thinking.
Man.
I really had to, because I got to set example for my kid, because like I said, he's at this stage now where he's starting to like girls. I'm preparing myself for the time he's gonna come and ask me about it. But I'm also gonna have a bottle of Hennessy in the Bible, because I don't know how I'm gonna react when he finally does.
No, we're not gonna give you the Hennessy, man. You need some wine or something. No, we don't need that.
I'm gonna need something strong, because once he asks me, because he's already asked me Valentine's Day.
You gonna drink that nasty shit?
I'm gonna drink something. It's gotta be something strong. Maybe some turpentine, something maybe. I don't know. But he asked me like, "Dad, I really like this girl at school, and I want to get her something Valentine's Day." My first thing came out, like, "You ain't getting shit." That's what you got. Nothing. What Robert Harris said on High Party, keep your mind and them books off the gals.
I try to say that with my child, the oldest. She's going through that now, and she's so focused on what she looked like, and what she looked like me, for one thing. And she's feeling herself a little bit.
Yeah.
and she's only 15. Like,
How
I'm
how
not ready.
how do you? Hey, that's a question for both of you. How have you been dealing with that? Like, what is your course of action of actually, what do you tell her about, dating and whatnot? Are you a direct? Do you find it easier to just be direct, or just, just beat around the bush to kind of, fill out what she's thinking, the type of things she's thinking?
Oh no, me and my daughter, we have a direct, open. I keep it real with my child because I didn't have that when I was coming up. Um, I was
Hmm.
sheltered. My parents
Mhm.
like, oh, you can't date it until you're 16. So guess what
Oof.
I did? I stuck around. I did it because I was just, because it's like, shit, you can't tell me what to do. And I got in a whole lot of trouble because of that. Because they tried to keep you sheltered and they're not trying to explain to you the reason why, you shouldn't be doing these things. You need to focus. If I had it where they taught education more, well, pushed it in me a little bit more, I would have maybe taken it a little bit more serious because I cut class. I was just hanging out, doing what the hell I wanted to do. I met my first kid father in high school. He was doing everything under the sun. And I almost had a kid in high school, to be real. So,
Hmm.
um, so no, I keep it real honest. And the fact that my child has a student that's like pregnant right now in her class,
Whoa.
um, yeah,
Ooh.
she's seeing the real reality to it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I tell her, like, it was a little boy that was trying to talk to her, but it turns out he was really just trying to, because he wanted her to hang out after school. And I was like, that's all they see is fresh meat. They see that you're a pretty
Oh.
girl. They're trying to see how easy you can be. So you got to be on top of that sometimes. And she was like, "Yeah, mom, he was just trying to get me to hang out after school, and I wasn't with it." So he moved on to some other chick, and I guess they hanging out, and she's learning though, like because I'm being open with her about it. And sometimes you have to be that, not being a friend to your kid, but letting them know for real, like what reality out there right about now.
Hmm.
hmm And keeping her focused on school is like at the end of the day, you worried about how you look, fitting in, but at the end of the day, all these people you're going to graduate with, you probably won't even see them.
Facts.
Facebook, maybe, but like you won't see half these folks ever. Like everybody's gonna go on to do their own lives and everything else. So like, stop worrying about
That's
what they
it,
think about
man.
you. Graduate.
Hmm.
Yep. Once I graduated, I got the hell out of Dodge. I left Columbus after I graduated.
I didn't like people I was in my school anyway, so it didn't make me any, man. I was ready. I
Well,
was happy to leave their asses.
Yeah.
But Dre, like that's a female perspective. What is your perspective? How do you have you like? I understand that you've had, you have friends who have sons, and what have they taught you? Because you haven't been there yet. So what have they told you about, dealing with a son who is, he's finally getting into, know, girls, and what have they told you about that?
whew, man. Well, considering I had a couple fellas that I talked to because their sons are older and he had one of my guy friends. His son is I think 17. He already got two kids. So and it's like yeah, he got two
Whoa!
kids. So the
Brother,
first
see?
thing I asked him was yeah he had one at 15 and one at 17.
And he didn't learn his lessons at 15?
He learned his lesson at 15. So the first thing I asked him was, did you kick his ass first? Did you do that first? So, but the second question I asked him was, how do you handle the fact that you're your granddad? He's around the same age as me almost. I think I'm a year older than. I think he's 38. I said, how do you feel to being you're a granddad at 38? Like, how do you feel about it? And the first thing he said was, first he said he's mad, he's pissed off because he gave his son. He said he wasn't mad about the fact that he did it. It was just the fact that the matter is he gave him the game to protect himself and he went another route. And then it happened. He said it happened. Unfortunately, it happened, but I had to have an open mind because if I was still closed minded and I still was angry that he went and did it, then I wouldn't have the relationship that I have with him. Like they get along great. He loves them like they're his own. But he said it took him a while to finally accept the fact that he's a granddad because that's my biggest worry that my son comes home at 15, 16, talking about dad, I got a girl pregnant. Y'all gonna have to come get me. Cause I ain't gonna know what to do. I'll be like, you got a what? You got a what now? You better hope. I hope you talk about a toy or something as a kid. Come on. But and I can't sit there and be mad at that because I was almost mad at one point. I was 17.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was almost one in high school too.
Yeah, I almost had a kid. I graduated going to boot camp, and I was with this girl but we was high school sweethearts. We were together about 3 years after school. But she went to another school. So the only time we actually saw each other was when we went to church. That's the time I saw her. So when I was getting ready to leave, we kind of said our goodbyes and I'm in boot camp and he sends me a letter saying, hey, you're about to be a dad. And I was like, I didn't know what to do because I'm already at boot camp. And I'm struggling. Well, I wasn't struggling, but I was trying to deal with that. But now I'm trying to deal with the fact that I'm about to be a dad. And unfortunately, we lost a child, unfortunately. But I really had to have an open mind, like, wow, I'm about to be a dad at 17, like, and one person I wrote to that I had to write to was my dad, because he's gonna wonder why the girl showing up at his house, right? So I mean, it was an eye opener. So the only thing I can say about it is when we get to that point where he wants to experience sex and stuff like that, wants to talk about it, like Yoshi said, gotta be honest with him. I should come down. Tell him the truth. Tell him what it is. Don't sugarcoat it, because you sugarcoat it, and like I say it time and time again. If you don't teach your child, if you don't have an open mouth, you don't teach your children, society will. Society will do it, or somebody that has a negative influence will teach you.
I learned that being open with my daughter, she comes to me about things. So some stuff I don't even want to hear, but I'm happy that she can feel honest and open and comfortable enough to come to me about it. And it's like, well, I don't want you mad, mom, but it's like, because you don't want to be that parent that didn't know,
Right.
and they pop up pregnant, like, oh my God, how did this happen? And clueless.
Yeah, you don't want to be that naive.
Mm-hmm.
Or my favorite one. Oh, that can't happen to my child. That's
Yeah. Oh, my child's not doing that. Like,
Right.
do that. And you know what? The ones that say that they won't do that, probably the ringleaders doing it. You gotta have an open mind. You know what I'm saying? You definitely gotta have an open mind. If you don't create that avenue for your child, it's gonna backfire in the worst way. I'm not wishing ill will on anybody that's a parent, but you gotta take into consideration times have changed. Technology is easy to access. We didn't have that luxury growing up. We had to, if we wanted to find out something, we had to go to the library or we had to go read a book. Nowadays, you can just get on Google and Google. Kids can get on Google and Google.
this generation alone is totally different.
Yeah, definitely. So, and like Kim said, you gotta be non-judgmental. You definitely do. You definitely do. But also in the same breath, you still gotta be a parent. Don't be your child's friend. You still gotta be their parent. That's what
That's the magic word, Drake. Like that's something that I want to ask. Have you guys seen Have you guys have been witness to parents who have elected to be their child's friend, and it resulted in absolute, just like the kids are just doing everything, just out here doing something of everything. Have you guys have witnessed that from either a friend or someone that you know?
Yep, definitely. I've seen it. Like, and me and one of my friends, we known for 15 years, but we had a falling out because he had a daughter. And he would just let her just do what she wants. Like she was spoiled, she was disrespectful, she was going out and talking back, and he would just let her walk all over, and I'm like, dude, get a girl backbone, bro. Tell her to shut the fuck up. You want me to do? I have no problem telling the kid what Bernie Mac say. They old enough to talk bad. They old enough to get fucked up. And so,
Right.
and I had to cut him loose because he would call me every day like, man, my daughter did this, my daughter did this. I'm like, why are you talking to me? Talking to the child, girl. Talk to me. Because I told you what you need to do, and you're just letting it happen. And I think he was more scared also than most. The reason why he didn't want to discipline her is because his ex-wife now. His ex-wife ran that out. She wouldn't let him be a father or a husband. He was pretty much a henpecked husband, whatever they call it. He pretty much did everything that was told. They treated him like a servant. Like, and I'd be sitting at the house. I'm like, you're not gonna say nothing? Like, she's 14, 15 years old, come home at 11 o'clock at night on a school night, and you just was like, oh, hey, glad you came back home. I'm like,
Man,
oh,
she would have got pimp slapped for me.
I don't play that around my house. Not at all.
hey,
No, 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 no.
I came home, gotta ask for it. Trust me. My mom was sitting there at the door waiting. I knew when that street light came on to get my ass home.
Yo,
So, but yeah, you definitely can't be your child's friend. Stop enabling. It's like you said, if you enable your child, they grow to be adults. They can do whatever they want with no repercussions. And that's not gonna happen because one day you're gonna run into the right person. You're gonna try that shit with them, and they're gonna have an open mind on whooping your ass. So I mean, you gotta curtail it now. That's why I tell my son all the time. Sometimes he starts, he talks back to his mom. I get on that phone and I read the riot act. I say, whoever disrespect your mom like that, I will fly to Jacksonville, take all your shit, and come back to Arizona. I don't like that. I don't like when a child is disrespectful to their child. So you gotta have
Don't you got some teenage kids too? Like
yeah.
boys, right? I can't imagine. I got enough with girls.
But you definitely gotta have an open mind. You gotta have an open mind when it comes to, especially when they're teenagers. You definitely.
You also have to, but that is true. You'd have to have open mind when it comes to the kids, but you also have to have an open mind when you're trying to heal, which takes us to probably our biggest topic of the evening, which is, if I can find, there it is, taking care of your star player, Dre.
I had a tough time doing this. I still do. I have a very tough time doing it because
I'm talking to you, Great Value.
Yes, sir. Hey man, what you're not gonna do is disrespect Great Value. That's what you're not gonna do. Okay? All right?
this man is worried about some damn great value, man.
Hey, he brought it up, man. But anyway, I struggled.
So you want me to change your name back in the group to Dr. Thunder? I got you.
No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that no more. No, we're not doing that.
But I struggled with the star player thing because I always, and my therapist told me this when we first started taking sessions. She was like, "You're trying to put on a performance to please everybody else, but at the end, you're the one that's drained." Because she says I'm kind of like an impetus, I guess that's the word, an impetus, where I worry about everybody else instead of me.
An impetus, yes.
Didn't we just talk about this, Dre? That's what I'm going through now. Everybody first.
I told you what you need to do. I told you what you need to do. You need to go talk to somebody, and you need to take care of yourself because I'm telling you, I was this close. I don't really want to talk about it, but I was this close to just be like, fuck. But my son called me, and it was my time to go. My son called me.
I'm gonna tell you, like, my therapist told me a few times, if you're not taking care of you, how the hell are you gonna take care of anybody else?
Right. I thought I could do it by myself. That's the problem with people when they
That's
have.
what we always do.
After you cussing me out all the goddamn time about doing it by yourself, you gonna do it by yourself? I'm gonna put my foot off in your ass.
Well, see, the thing about it is that I wanted to make sure everybody else.
I wanted to go Major Pain, but I'm gonna leave you.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure everybody else was straight, and then in the process, I was losing myself. That's why I drank all the time, like heavy, because I was so drained, I was so mentally exhausted that the only thing I could do at that point was just to drink the pain away.
Yeah.
And,
I can
and
agree because I spent, what year is it? 2020.
yeah,
Yeah.
I spent 4 straight years drunk.
mm-hmm. Tell me, man, 2019 for me was a blur because I was always drinking.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
That's
When
why
you
I
was
stopped drinking. So when a lot of y'all met me, and I told you I had become sober. That's
Yeah.
why. Because before then,
it was bad.
there wasn't a drink I didn't like, and there wasn't a bar who didn't like me.
Trying to tell you.
I knew I had a problem when I had cups about this big. No,
I got one in the cabinet right
no
now.
chaser, no nothing, just straight liquor, just tossing it back like it was water.
Yep. You had to. And it didn't help. I used to get the big cases. I get it on Friday and be done on Saturday night. The whole thing's on Saturday night.
You drunk a 24-pack of Keystone Light.
Yeah, man, I got the highlights. Then when I get bougie, if I get a little more in my pocket, then I get the Heineken. If I got a little money.
Well, at least it wasn't a Steel Reserve.
Nah, last time I drank Steel Reserve,
your ass is gonna die.
It was a bad night. The same thing with Four Local, but you gotta take care of yourself because if your star player is affected, it's gonna not only affect you, it's gonna affect your kids, your relationships.
It affects
marriage.
everyone around you because
Everybody around you
taking care of you. You're in a foul, abrasive.
Yeah.
Let's be real, a shitty mood. Like,
And
I wasn't taking care of me, and everyone around me knew that there's something wrong with Dex. But every time we try to approach Dex, he's trying to kill us. So
and it doesn't compound the fact that me and you both suffer from PTSD. So that magnifies everything.
It does. It got to a point to where everyone around me just said, "Okay, we're gonna let Dex suffer until he's tired of suffering." And then I hit Dre up one night and was like, "Bro, I'm sick of this shit. Go back to your counselor."
Yeah.
That's all he said, and that's all I could do was just sit and think like,
You got to
stop.
Yeah. Me going to therapy, going to counseling is probably the best thing. That's literally saved my life. Because if I was going down the route I was going, I probably wouldn't be here.
These two assholes on the right side of my screen, they saved my life about 3 times.
It happens. And like I said, me and Maggie.
I mean, I'm not proud to admit it. I mean, I am proud that they're brothers enough to keep me here, but yeah, they saved my life a couple times.
Yeah, because if you wouldn't be here to flourish like you are now.
Yeah.
And I've talked to Maggie too. Me and Maggie had conversations where
well, you know, there's something stubborn about Marines. We'd be dead, but not dead. So, you know. Oh, wait, never mind. Wrong topic. Go ahead, Dre. You got it.
No, but I'm just saying, like, people like y'all keep me from, and then like I said, when I'm BSing and doing stuff I'm not supposed to do, I get checked on.
Oh yeah, I checked you one time on one of your posts.
Yeah, that's why Red Cup Ranch was wrong, but that'll be enough. We'll say that for another time.
Yeah, we've all learned not to try to check Dre on a post. We have to check him in his inbox.
No, pull me to the side. If you do it on my post, I'm gonna cuss you out. If you pull me to the side like
yeah, because we checked you on a post before, and you went on a 30-post storm afterwards. Like, I know this nigga didn't tell me what to do. Yes, we told you to calm down, and you just went.
I told you it's like Incredible Hulk. You know, one minute I'm Bruce Banner, then another minute I'm the Incredible Hulk. I start snatching. Not literally snatching it, but like in my mind, you know. And you know my mouth when it gets hot, it has no filter. Like I'm going for everybody. It's like the contra spread. It's like the spread going contra everybody.
Yeah, because I thought you was getting ready to go off last night when somebody was like, "That might not have been a smart idea to bet on Wilder," and I was like, "Oh."
No, but you know, honestly, I didn't. I was just like, you know, shit happens. The old me probably would, but the fact of the matter is,
the old you would have cussed everybody under the sun out. Like
2019 one only did 2 rants. I didn't do 30 like I only did 2 last night.
I only did 2 this time.
It's broke. It's broke. I went from 30 to 2, so it's broke. So, but the fact of the matter is that
Stupid shit.
I've come a long way, and I'm finally starting to realize. Like I'll be 40 this year. I'll be 40. You know, and that's a blessing in itself
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
I hate
not a
that.
lot of people that look like us don't make it, whether it be by natural causes or unnatural causes, or you meet their demise.
Well, when you look like us, you ain't supposed to make it past 25. So I'm
Especially,
10 years on
especially coming
borrowed
from,
time.
especially. I mean, I know Mike and Maggie, growing up in Atlanta. I know y'all saying things, but Columbus is just as bad. It's getting worse now.
Oh no, Columbus is worse than Atlanta.
I
In
hear.
fact, they just had a shooting. They had a shooting the other day. They done had 6 homicides. They done already had 6 killings already.
They've
And that's
had
another
they've had 15 in the last 3 months.
3 months. They had 15. I think I was just reading just now before we got on shot. I think somebody else got shot.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, so that's a blessing in itself to be able to make it to 40. A lot of people have a midlife crisis, but I'm pretty much embracing it because, like I said,
You had a midlife awakening, sir. I'm proud of you.
I had to. Like it's like you said, you got people watching you, whether voluntary or involuntary. People are watching you, so you have to take care of yourself.
Mhm.
Especially when you got kids. When you have children, you got to take care of yourself. Because if you flourish as a person, it's gonna pass on to your kids. It's gonna pass on to your wife or your girlfriend or whoever. It's gonna pass on to them. You
True.
got it all goes back to what you say. You gotta have an open mind to treat yourself. Like I said, I'm gonna take a trip from my 40 if I'm going out of the country on a vacation just to go because that's how you take care of yourself. And Mike and Dex have kicked me in, even Phil, Matt as well, LaDonna, all have kicked me in my ass because I never took care of myself. I always was trying to take care of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I had to really do it. It was a struggle. It really was a struggle because I wanted to please everybody else and it wasn't working. So in essence, when I can do that and I get irritated, that's when the lashing out starts. So you definitely got to take care of yourself in order to heal. You really do. You really do. That's a big part.
Yeah, you really do. Um, Another thing about taking care of your star players, finding an outlet, finding a safe one. It doesn't necessarily have to be productive, but a safe outlet.
Yep.
Dre, mine and your outlet for a long time was the bottle. Didn't matter the cost of the bottle, didn't matter the size of the bottle. It was going in my
I was
stomach.
getting drunk. I was getting drunk. Trust me.
That's why I stopped drinking for the longest of time, and I turned to sports, and I turned to gaming and technology because I could play a game, lose myself for hours, you know, let my mind go to what's in front of me, and just chill out,
Mhm.
all the pains and irritations of the world temporarily. I can, where is it? Pick this thing up right here and just go to town.
Yeah. My
It's
big,
safer than getting drunk, and then when you're drunk, you're in this altered state of mind, so there ain't no telling what's gonna come out your mouth or where these hands gonna fly.
I've been a victim of both. So it was either my hands or my fists. It was either one, depending
Yeah.
on the situation.
My thing used to be go around um to avoid things. Um, my biggest thing I just love to like get into stuff, and what I mean by getting into stuff is pretty much did a lot of fighting, stealing, just so I didn't have to, you
I'm
know.
like, you still fight though.
Yeah, but I don't punch people in the damn face though. All right, I don't punch people in the face anymore. All right, that's the
Love you,
difference.
bro.
That's it. All right, I just don't punch people in the face like I used to. All right, one like I said, my issue is that even at a young age, um, I figured out I had a problem with anger when I was about what 16. That's when I got kicked. Uh, I actually my senior year,
You
17
got
years
kicked, my
old.
bro.
Yeah, I got kicked out of. I
Oh,
almost got kicked out of school, and
I say, did somebody sweet chin music you, my guy? You want to go get him? You want to go get
somebody
him?
tried to, and it didn't go well for them. They tried to, but it didn't go well. But that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother. Set. But I think, like you said, everyone has those vices, and my thing is, I used to go around fighting. I was never really a drinker, but when I did drink, I got fucked up. Like just fucked all the way up. I did not want to stop. I did not stop. I don't know how to stop. And the last time that I had a drink was shit about 10 years ago, and that was only because I had a gun pointed at my face, and I was like, oh, and I didn't remember it the next day. So I didn't want that shit to
Sheesh.
happen again. Yeah, having a 357 point at your face, and you don't remember the shit. Everybody telling you how you lost your damn mind. You waking up, you don't know what the hell they talking about. I remember seeing the gun, but anything after that, I don't remember anything. Like, and that was troubling for me. That I'm causing so much hell, and I'm so drunk that I don't remember what I'm doing. So, like, you got to take care of yourself, and that's what you say. You should take care of your star player. Take care of yourself, because if you have little ones, like we all do for the most part, they're going to repeat everything that they see, everything that they see, and trust and believe that they will. You think your kids are not paying attention? They are paying close
Oh yeah.
attention. When you writing
Yeah.
shit, crazy stuff on Twitter, crazy stuff on Instagram and Facebook, oh, that shit gonna come back in the memories. You be like, oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? What the hell was I doing?
Hmm.
They're paying attention. They're gonna see it. So take care of yourself, man. Think before you do things, and yeah, don't drink in social media. All right, don't drink in social media. That's not a
I've
good
been a
idea.
victim
Mike,
of that.
Mike,
I've
Mike, why
done
you
it.
snitching on me, bro? Why you snitching on
I've
me?
done it. I've done it. I've done it.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Dre, Facebook Live.
Hmm.
I used to
Yeah.
pick up cigarettes a lot more.
Oh my
A while
God.
ago, I used to work from
Man, I
home, and
got
I'll
your
be
ass for that
chain
too. Yeah,
smoking.
I got your ass for that too.
Mhm.
Because I was that. I was that too.
And everybody was like, "You need to put that down. You don't need to be smoking." I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Right.
Yep.
That's how I was when people told me I need to start drinking. I was like, mind your fucking business.
Exactly.
Still are. You
I've
still
gotten
are.
better. I've gotten better.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I've
yes.
gotten better.
You have definitely improved.
I've
You
gotten better.
boy,
But
you have made some big improvements.
like I said, we're all human, and
Okay, I see you feel with the lax new hundreds. You
Yeah,
can
Phil,
smoke them. We're
yeah, you
not gonna
gotta put
smoke them.
that shit down too, Phil.
We
You
would
too.
love to see you do better, but we know if that's what you need to help you get through for now, then go for it. But we know you are making improvements, and we're proud of the progress that you've made so far. Keep at it, my guy.
Mm.
and like I said, everybody has an outlet. Like this, this network is one of my outlets. But music. Everybody knows I'm a big music head. So whenever I have a bad day,
That's me, Phil. That was Newport 100s all day long.
and then and then we had the. There's nothing like a good song to make you feel some way.
Oh, here goes the small thing. Wow.
Phil Collins.
Squall.
Yes, Squall
Squall.
P. Squall P. I'm telling you,
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to tell you, if you have
Do do
a
do do
song
do
that you
do do
love,
do do
it's
do
gonna
do
happen.
do.
So, yeah, I do. But at the end of the day, it makes me feel better when I'm having a bad day. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
I can't sing, but you
yeah.
know what? It's not gonna stop me from doing it.
Yeah, he definitely can't sing. He definitely can't sing.
Oh, congrats, Phil. Stop smoking. 7 months strong.
And I bet
You
you
Yeah,
could
feel
you
better.
could have used the K on that. You could have used
that
just
shit up.
strong. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? We proud of you. Proud of you. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
Keep
A
that
success
shit up,
story in the
man.
making.
That shit up. Keep it up. Trust.
yeah.
Trust me, you'll feel a whole lot better.
You'll feel the differences. Your life gonna be better.
Hmm.
You're gonna have more energy. You're gonna be in a better mind. You're gonna be able to digest things a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to dip, dock, and dudge, and all that good stuff. The lady folks or the male folks or the whatever happens that you roll with. Because I ain't talked to you, so I don't know how you swing. But I talk to anybody the same way, but they gonna love it too because you're gonna be able to move a little bit better. They gonna be like, damn, Phil, wait a minute, now hold on, now I ain't trying to get sprung.
Cut
Yeah, too late,
throat, cut throat.
too late.
Let me go. Calm down your throat.
But anyway,
Yeah.
we have reached the end of another episode. So I'm gonna add one more thing that I wanted to try out last week, but we didn't have other people. It was just me and Dre. So we're gonna drop some closing statements. Everybody get a closing statement, and then we can go home since it's 15 minutes to 10, and I got packing to do.
Yeah.
Wednesday night is my last night in Atlanta, Georgia. I will be making a transition to 2,100 miles away from here to the Phoenix greater area. I have 27 hours of driving in front of me. So you will not see me on Red Cup Rants next week, and you may not see me on Breaking the Stigma next week, but I've already gotten the show drawn out. Topics are made. We're going to talk about, marriages and relationships. Ironically, that was already in the topic plan. So Keisha, we had already got you anyway. So, but I'm gonna let the fellas and Matt run the show on autopilot, and we gonna go from there. So I'm gonna since y'all the guests of my baby, I'm gonna let y'all do y'all closing statements, and then we can get up out of here.
Ladies first.
I seen that coming.
I knew that was coming.
Ladies first. Ooh, tell them about what you got going on, man. Tell them what you got going on.
Yeah, what's going on with your life?
What's wrong with that?
I don't want to steal one from Hot Ones, but what's going on in your life?
I don't know what you do on these closing statements. What do you look for?
Speak your mind.
You speak your mind, whatever's on your heart or your mind, just talk.
Well, I guess right now I'm just trying to like the main topic that you just talked about, worried about yourself. Like I'm really trying to talking to Dre. I realize I probably do need to see a therapist, maybe talk to somebody, um, making sure I'm better. Because right now I'm not. I got me a new page though that I created. It's called Sutri Seconds, and it's for people that want to message and get advice. Because I know I need it, but I feel like I am great at giving advice more than helping my damn self.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
yeah.
can get I can give awesome, amazing advice. Do I follow it? No.
That's the hard part. That's the $64 million question there.
But it the cool thing on the job that I do, people come to me with their problems all the time. I'm always helping people. So I feel like it's my passion to, you know, be that for someone. If any shape, form, no matter what it is, you never know what people are going through. They might not be open to talk about it, but they might see something that might have hit them and it meant so much to them that they take it with them and they learn something from it. So even if they're afraid to do it, even with the post that you might see, it's going to encourage them to, check themselves sometimes. And sometimes people just need a stranger to talk to. It might not even be your family and friends. Sometimes just an unbiased
Exactly.
opinion.
Mhm.
So, and of course, it's for advice, and plus, it's also a little juiciness. So it's gonna be
Ooh, yeah, baby. Woo.
we're gonna
All
be.
right.
I'm touching all the topics of sexuality, everything. So
Mhm.
don't be surprised what you see on that page. Tune in,
Oh
check
yeah.
it out. Eventually, I do want. That's why I kind of came on here to get comfortable with it, because I eventually want to do my own, a little podcast myself, a little show. Um,
Well,
Nice.
we are always looking for more content providers here at Strictly Prohibited Network. So if you
true.
Yeah.
need a spot, we got you.
I mean,
Mhm.
I might start doing this. This is not too bad.
Trust me, I don't like getting on camera for shit unless I've been drinking.
Yeah, network,
You know what I'm saying?
business, yeah, blah blah blah.
I don't.
Mike,
I didn't like getting on camera. So when they came to me talking about we're gonna go live on Facebook, I was like, why? But
and then when Dre seen the
We had to
interaction, he
get
was
Dre.
like, you know
I
what,
don't
we
know how that
staying.
happened,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I did
Dre
not
seen
want
the
to do it.
interaction numbers that first day. He was like, we staying. Oh,
Yeah,
thought you
yeah,
had it.
yeah.
I thought you had it. And he was like, nah, bro, we reaching people.
It's good. It's
You
good.
right, you right, you right. Mike,
Yeah.
what you got, bro?
me, I, I'm I don't have much to say, to be honest. That's kind of
Shocking.
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 I'll say this. I'll say this. All right. I always got something. I always got something under my sleeve. Me, I'm a person of. For me, I have to. I think it's important for a lot of us to understand that go with your heart, go with your feelings, even if people don't support whatever it is that you want
Mhm.
out of your life. Go with that because even though you may not have people that are not totally on board with what you want, doesn't mean that it's the wrong decision. And I think a lot of people's dreams gets destroyed before it even get started is because they're listening to everyone else. Their best friend that they've known all their life, or their mother, their father, their sister, brother, like they don't believe in their dreams and whatnot. And I think it's important for you to believe in yourself. Believe in you. Whatever is in your heart, first and foremost, fuck them. Do what the fuck you want to do. It's okay. Especially if it's something that's in your heart that will not go away, it will not go away for a reason. God put it there. He put it there for you. If it will not go away, you cannot get rid of that feeling. Go for it. Fuck everybody's feeling. Right? And like I said, I'm still working on my language. I'm still working on a lot of stuff. But bro, like I'm I hate using this word, but I'm as real as it can be, man. You gonna get what the fuck you gonna get from me. I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. I don't give a damn if you like it. You gonna get it from me. And like I said, man, whatever is on your heart, it will not go away. It won't go away for a reason. Fuck who does not like it. Go for it, okay? Because look, let me tell you something. Dre and I ain't want no part of this shit. I'm an introvert. I like watching sports. I like sitting on my ass, playing video games, fucking. I like to do shit like that. Like, what the fuck I like to do, okay? That's what I like to do. That's what I find fun. I don't like talking to people. I don't even like being around people. But Drake got me. Drake, what the hell's wrong with y'all? Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, this is. Hey man, this your closing statement, man. I'm listening. I'm just listening. You know.
I'll just say this, man. I like to do what I like to do, man, and man, and go for it. That's ultimately what I want to say, man. Whatever's on your heart, go with it, man. Because not everybody gonna like what not everybody gonna agree with everything. Even if you feel like they feel like it's wrong, go for it, man. You can only make a mistake, and you can learn from a mistake. All right. Just like Wilder getting this guy his ass whooped by Fury. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. He can come back. He can come back. You can come back. We all can come back. So that's my closing statement, man. Fuck people. Do what the fuck you want to do.
That's right.
Shit, I don't even have to say anything. He pretty much said what I want to say.
Come on, Dre, creep up onto the mic so I can wrap this up and get us out of here.
Like I said, this journey that I've been on, it's been eye opening. Uh, I had a really hard time uh, accepting the fact that I needed help, and the fact of the matter is that I finally got it. It's huge improvement. Like I know how to handle things better. I know how to not get so angry and mad all the time. Handle my emotions. I still have my moments where I give somebody the business, cuss them out or something like that, but it's been a lot less of that. Um, like I said, I've been doing this for a year now, and I have a session tomorrow that I'm doing tomorrow as well. And it's been eye opening to say the least about the stuff that I need to fix. I had to really change a lot of. I really had to change a lot of thinking that I was doing to grow as a person. That included a lot of stuff that I thought that I believed in and my beliefs. I had to start changing that because I wasn't growing as a person. When people say, "Oh, Dre has," it seems like he had it all together. No, when you get off the air, or you get off the phone, or you get off Facebook, and you're sitting there, you realize that something's
Mm-hmm.
not right. Something's not right.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to admit that I had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And when it finally, you say, I don't, I don't really do the church thing. I'm kind of spiritual, but there are times when the universe wants you to listen. It'll make you listen one way or another.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And I got my wake up call last year. The universe was like, you need to fix some things. And when I didn't listen, it was like, oh, you don't want to listen? You want to be hard headed? Okay, let me show you. It did. That's why I went to the route I went to get help. But that's another thing that's another thing we have to learn as men as well is that we can't be too proud to not ask for help. You know me, I can be very headstrong on a lot of things, but there's times where I do need help that I didn't want to tell nobody because I didn't want to see like I was weak or vulnerable. I had to change that though, because if I kept that way of thinking going, I was going. That's it, self-destruct. I was self-destructing anyway. It's just people didn't see it because I hid it well. But the scene started to bust at the sides, and my true friends saw that I didn't have it all together.
Yeah, that's
So
what we do. That's what we
yeah,
do.
so I mean, other people
You
might
use your
have
friend on
seen,
your brother, so get that right.
yeah,
Okay.
a lot of people thought I was okay, but my real true friends knew something was up.
Yep.
And like I said, I applaud Nikki for giving me, she the one who told me like you need to go get help. You need to get some kind of therapy going because the way you're going right now, you're not going to make it. Even my doctor said the way I was drinking, she said you're not going to make it to 40 because my liver was that bad because I was drinking so much. And she said, she's like, your liver's
I
going to
told
go.
you,
It's
oh
not.
man. I
So
told Dre like, bro, you got to stop this shit. And Dre went here.
so
Yeah, you
Dre was
told
not
Dre to
here
stop, and
that
you
day,
went
bro.
left on all of us. I was like, God damn it, my
Dre
yeah,
man.
said, "Oh, I ain't heard shit you said."
it was like I said, but you need friends like that though. You need friends that hold you accountable. Once you start holding yourself accountable for your shit, that's when you grow as a person. You really grow as a person when you start holding yourself accountable for stuff. And you have to admit sometimes you have to swallow your pride and say, hey, I can't do this by myself. That's
That's
what that
true.
was my that was my issue. My issue was I thought I could do it by myself and I didn't need nobody. I kept telling Mike and Dex, I don't need you, I can do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when in reality, it's impossible to do it by yourself. It's impossible.
That's true. That's true.
So that's all I gotta say. I'm enjoying this journey of self healing. I'm approaching 40 with open arms. God willing, I get there. I'm gonna fully embrace it.
You'll get there. You're gonna get
I'm
there.
still struggling. Like, every now and then, I still struggle, but we're human. But nobody said it was gonna be easy going down this road. It wasn't gonna be all sunshine and rainbows and puppy dogs and all that shit. It was gonna be some times where I was gonna have some trying times. I mean, like I said, when my boy was in the hospital, that really shook me because I hated seeing him like that. So I didn't know how to handle that.
True.
But then I started writing and listening to music. I started feeling better. The old me probably would have drunk myself into a stupor, you know. But I
Yep.
didn't. I sat down, I breathed a little bit, and I kind of, I really had to like change some stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not perfect. It's not a perfect journey. It's gonna be very hard sometimes. But that's why you got the support system and you have your star players. You got people watching you. Like I said, my son, he calls me his superhero. So definitely got. If I don't do it for nobody, I gotta do it for him at least. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
all I got. That's all I got to say. So I appreciate everybody listening to us. So, Dex, go ahead and take us home, man.
All right. So my closing statement goes along with taking care of your star player. You always have to be cognizant of who is watching. I have three people in my house that have PTSD, severe PTSD. One has moderate, so there ain't a human in my house without it. and the dog. The dog got it too. Yeah, it's bad, but this motherfucker. Yeah. Don't try to wait to the perfect situation or the perfect moment or the or perfect period to try to leave if something is wrong. Get going ASAP because you don't know what you may be going through it yourself, but you don't know what your kids have seen. You don't know what your family has seen or endured. You might be losing contact with people that have been close to you all your life and you're trying to figure out why. You might be losing job opportunities and you're trying to figure out why. It's because you stuck yourself into that hole and you stayed there. Because I I I, I don't have this or I don't have that, so I'm not leaving. Fuck that. Leave. There's programs to help you. If you are abused in any way whatsoever, there are programs to help you. Speaking of which, taking care of your star player, one thing you need to do, especially for all of those of y'all with a job and insurance is provided from the job, look up the EAP program, Employee Assistance Program. If you are thinking about going to therapy and you talking about it going to cost too much, call the EAP program of your job and tell them it's a mental health related issue. EAP provides a referral and it will pay for up to 6 sessions.
Yeah.
And then after your 6 sessions run out, the therapist that they prescribe that they will I guess prescribe you to, whatever that they send you to will make sure that it's within your network of the insurance that is provided from your job. So if you do have to pay out of pocket for a copay, it ain't gonna be an arm and a leg. Our copay at my house was $75. $75 to make progress. That's $75 worth it.
Yeah.
But I said all that to say is think about who's watching you while you sitting there trying to endure what you're enduring. Because you, oh, it's okay. He's just doing it because he loves me. That ain't love.
Nope.
And just because you have kids, there's no reason to stay. It don't matter if all you leaving with is the clothes on your back and 10 cents to your name. Leave. We would rather you be with clothes and broke than to be rich and about to be dead. Let that sink in and marinate. That being said, we thank you for tuning in to another episode of Breaking the Stigma right here on Strictly Prohibited Network. You can find us on all of our ways of finding us, which is Strictly Prohibited Network on YouTube. Look us up, like, share, subscribe, all that loveliness. Let's see. There is the Strictly Prohibited Facebook page. There's the Strictly Prohibited Facebook group, which is mainly sports. But, we put the show in there too because, it's grown-up things to do. We have a positivity page. Speak it into existence. I got you, LaDonna. I got you with your plug, girl. Don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? I got you. And then, you have what is my baby, which is the entire network and its growing schedule of content. We have the Red Cup Rants every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. I ain't gonna tell you what channel, because if you don't know by now, something wrong. We got the Hodgepodge Show, Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I wonder where that's at. Oh, yeah, right here. The ladies will let you know about the champagne conversations, but that's going to be Thursday nights, 9 p.m. right here. Breaking the Stigma is going to be a Sunday night. Every Sunday night, 8 p.m., whether my ugly mug is here or not, there will be somebody to take care of the topics that I leave for them to help yourselves, because I'm not a licensed therapist, but I should have been. Thank you, Mama, for drilling me with all that crap you drilled me with when I was young to help me get through. Because I'm using it to help other people like you wanted me to. Love you, mama. And what other shows do we have, Dre? Do we got anything else right now? Oh yeah, In the Zone with B Jones will be coming sometime this fall, August, September, October, somewhere up in there. Brian will let us know. We got a wrestling show coming. We ain't even thought of a name. What's the name gonna be, Mike?
Oh, one thing. Wait, what? I don't know, goddamn. I'm not.
Well,
Matt
it's
and I
gonna be me,
actually
Mike.
have
It's gonna be me,
a
Mike, Matt, who y'all finally got to see. I told y'all he was real. Y'all don't believe me.
yeah,
And
Matt.
and Phil. Hey Phil. Yeah, we gonna get together, gonna put our heads together, we're gonna work out the logistics on that, but that's coming.
Yeah, but Matt
And we
also
are
what you
always
think?
open to add new people and new content. So if you want to join Strictly Prohibited Network, hit us up either on
One
YouTube or hit one of us up, one of us
goddamn.
up,
One
one of us
second,
up
goddamn.
there. Goddamn, I
Hey,
can't talk.
one fucking second. Matt and I are trying something else. Okay, this is an
Ah, shit, y'all
extreme.
trying new shit. I ain't ready.
Yes, we got extreme sports, skateboarding, mountain biking. We're trying all of that stuff. All right, so no one will be left out on Strictly Prohibited. Where we got them, we working on.
What? Hold on.
And,
Yeah,
Hold on. I need y'all to do me a favor then. We gotta include hockey and we gotta
that's what I
cover
was gonna say.
basketball.
Matt,
we got it. We got
Matt
it.
coming with the hockey experience, him and LaDon doing the hockey stuff. That's gonna
Oh,
help.
so that's coming too. We finally getting the hockey
Oh,
up in here.
we got. I got this. I got this. We
You
got
got
this.
this. You got.
We got
Yeah,
this.
hey, I need you to be my media manager. I need you to manage my media. I'll help you with the network and the funding, but you got to get me going now. Come on now, I
We
need you,
got
baby.
this.
I need you. You got me?
This. I got it.
Because you know I'm running out of energy. Because you know I'm supposed to be getting ready to move, so I'm kind of tired. I'm about to go pass out once we done.
Hey, it was nothing but a taco on that. Taco will fix everything. Tacos
But
fix everything.
yes, for all of those who are thinking about branching out or trying something new, there's probably something for you on Strictly Prohibited Network. And if not,
Oh,
reach
we
out.
got. Remember,
Reach
she's
out.
a part of it. Whether she want to
We
say it or
willing to
not,
add
she's
you to
a part
Strictly
of it.
Prohibited Network so y'all can help us. Help
She a
yourselves.
part of it. She gonna be a part of it. We're gonna see.
Oh,
We're
that
gonna
one
see
down
her.
there?
We're gonna
That
see
one
her
down there? Yeah.
face
Oh,
a
her.
lot
Hey,
more
hey,
often.
you.
Okay, we're gonna see her a lot more often. She is a part of this. She's a part of the network. I said
Oh,
it. She ain't got
well,
to do it.
no
I
one was
said
gonna
it.
tell me. It was just gonna be a surprise, motherfucker. It was just gonna be one of the
She's
moments.
a part of it. Be
Surprise.
a part of it. Whether she like it or not.
Oh, okay. I see how
I'm
y'all do.
telling her.
I
Right?
see how
How
y'all
about
do.
Hey man,
See
look,
how they do us, Dre? You see how they
I'm
do
like,
us?
hey man, I'm
Hey,
like
shit.
Marsh. Hey, I'm like Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
I was gonna be
right?
here to catch a paycheck, but
Yeah, I've been wanting me to come up on this thing, so here I am.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you came
you know
though.
what? You
You
know
did
what?
you did
You
good. I'm
right.
glad you
You
came.
right.
I'm glad
You
you
right.
did. So
You
hopefully
right.
we'll be seeing you again. I really want you to if you get a
Okay,
chance
so
to jump on
so
with the
with
ladies.
that being said, then
I want you to jump on with the ladies
Maggie,
eventually.
when is your
Okay.
what is gonna be the name of your show? What day you want to do your show, and what time do you want to put your show on?
I ain't even thought all about that
Well,
part
shoot.
yet.
Well, plug
I'm sure I'm
yourself.
sure
Go
I'm
ahead.
sure I'm sure her and Mike they'll be cooking up something, man. So
Oh
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Lord.
Always.
they'll be cooking up
Oh
something.
Lord. You gonna have the
But
Dairy
yeah,
Queen
I would
back
love
here
for you.
cooking
But I would
cooking
love
cooking.
for you
Lord have mercy.
to join the women on Thursday if you can when they have it to join them. So that'd be. I think you can come with another point of view as well. So
Okay. I'll take your word for I'll do it.
guys,
I'll
All
do it.
right. Well, that being said, thank everybody for tuning in. Strictly
Mm-hmm.
Prohibited Network. Y'all already know the phrase. I ain't got to say it unless Mike wants to say it.
Nah,
Nope.
just get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out. That's all you gotta do. Get the fuck
thanks for coming out. God bless and good night.
Y'all ain't
out.
shit.
Adios.
Uh,